Jacob Rils, born in Denmark on the 3rd of May 1849, was third eldest son of Niels Riis, a school teacher and writer for the Riis magazine, and Carolina Riis, a homemaker. At 11 he became aware of poverty around the world, and at 16 he became an apprentice carpenter and got moved to Copenhagen. At 19 Riis moved back to Riis but immigrated to New York when he was 21. In New York, because he was an immigrant, he was forced to do manual jobs whilst living in a police lodging house. Riis taught himself photography as he understood the power of written and illustrated words. He got his first journalism job in 1873 at the New York News, and then became editor of the South Brooklyn News. In 1878, Riis became the New York Tribune's police reporter. He found the basis of his life work in Mulberry Bend, where there were many slums. Riis had personally experienced poverty and said poor were the victims rather than the makers of their fate. He showed this to the citizens of New York. In 1888, he worked as a photojournalist for the New York Evening Sun. Riis was a pioneer in the use of flash photography. Therefore, he was able to photograph the slums at night. However, he set fire to his clothes and almost blinded himself. He put himself in danger because he thought it was his duty to show the slums to the public. In 1889, his book How the Other Half Lived appeared in Scribner's magazine and was seen by Theodore Roosevelt. Afterwards, the police lodging houses were closed down. After a day of photography, Riis found a note on his desk saying, "I have read your book and I am here to help," signed Theodore Roosevelt. In his life, Riis wrote and lectured about poverty in America. A lecture observer said his viewers moaned, shuddered, fainted and even talked to the photographs. Riis wrote over a dozen books, and his autobiography was published in 1901. He died 13 years later in 1914 and was buried in Riverside Cemetery, Massachusetts. In 1913, the Jacob Rils Park was opened as a memorial of this well-known photojournalist. It is still used today as a popular tourist destination. Riis's pictures were quite depressing, and the people photographed all seemed distressed. I think this is a good thing because we can trust his photos and none of them seem staged in any way. Riis has influenced many people in becoming photojournalists, and I think his legacy for a better world without poverty will live on.